What's up, everyone? It's Strings and Sweaters, a channel where we talk about hockey jerseys. Let's talk about the new Winter Classic releases. All right, welcome back. This is Strings and Sweaters. We talk about hockey news, hockey jerseys, and some guitar stuff. If you like any of those topics, make sure you hit the subscribe button and leave this video a like. I appreciate your views. It means a lot to me. All right, so the new Winter Classic jerseys are released. They're actually on sale, I believe, right now for pre-order or order. They're the first new jerseys made by Fanatics, although we're not totally sure because these mock-ups could have been created and confirmed back when Adidas was still in control, and then Fanatics just took over the templates and is producing them. But I'm going to say this and the Utah home and away for this inaugural season are the first jerseys that Fanatics is producing, and it is basically going to roll us into the new Fanatics era. And in the coming seasons, we're going to see a lot of teams switch up their jerseys and utilize that new Fanatics brand to kind of redesign their home and away jerseys. So we'll be covering that in, forever to come because, we love hockey jerseys here. So let's get into these jerseys. I'm going to break them down. We'll talk about the Blues first and then the Blackhawks. All right, we'll start with the front of this jersey. So we have that classic vintage kind of off-white cream that a lot of these Winter Classic jerseys have used in the past. We have St. Louis across the middle as a word mark. So in no logo, we have the Blues normal logo that they have normally moved up to the top of the shoulders as a patch. And we have the lighter shade of blue, or this is probably just the main. No, this is the main shade of blue that the Blues home jersey has. In years past, in Winter Classics, the Blues have used a lighter kind of baby blue, but this is their darker blue. And it looks pretty good with this cream vintage white backdrop. I will say one thing about this wordmark logo. The font, I don't know if it pays homage to like St. Louis Blues' first few years as a franchise, or even before that, a hockey club before that titled St. Louis. But this font is very New Times Roman. It's very blocky and looks old school. Now moving on, looking at the logo wordmark itself, you have two horizontal yellow stripes that follow into the sleeves. And then you have this band of blue. And then you have St. Louis in the middle of the blue. Personally, I think that those yellow stripes kind of get lost and fade away into the cream off-white backdrop. And I think that they could have actually benefited from maybe putting two blue border stripes on either side of the yellow stripes. And then for the blue bar in the middle, I actually think it could have benefited from maybe having an actual white band around it or white backdrop, just kind of like the letters have this like white outline layer of stitching on around the letters, creating a shadow effect. Also, with the assistants and captains patch, we also have that white layer there. So I think the blue band could have been maybe bordered with white or had white used in it somehow. But yeah, this is a pretty bland jersey. Even the neckline there doesn't even do the full blue neckline. It chooses to go with the half cream and half blue. I would assume that the St. Louis wordmark is going to be made of that same felt material that we've recently seen on like the Heritage Classic jerseys, which is pretty cool. That's really nice material on these jerseys. I can vouch. Really nice. And then we have that NHL logo there, which they decided to keep it the same ones that the Fanatics normal jerseys have, which makes sense. I will say that we can kind of see the benefit in it not being that shiny metallic logo anymore, especially with the Winter Classic jerseys, because the shiny chrome definitely doesn't really fit the throwback vibe of the Fanatics, but this new like pearloid, more duller look for the logo definitely fits it. Alrighty, moving on to the back of the jersey, we get the font for the numbers, very rounded, very old school vibe. We have the font for the nameplate. One thing that I see here is that the nameplate is very big, at least for Shen. It's large. It's the letters, I mean, are tall. They are pretty tall and lengthy. The striping pattern on the arms looks pretty good from the backside. And then they're also going to break up the arms with the numbers of the players being in that blue band on the arm, which is a cool idea. The backdrop for the nameplate doesn't have any other coloring. It's just that same cream color. And then you have a hemline that's the same blue from the band in the middle. And then you have a yellow accent line above it just to kind of follow what's on the sleeves. And a lot of people complain about these kind of band logos where they have the band backdrop and then they don't go around the entire jersey. They kind of just stop midway and then you just have this like kind of unclosed band and it kind of looks awkward. But with this jersey, then that would mean you'd have to make the numbers some sort of different color on the inside and it would mess up the whole vibe of the back of the jersey. I actually think the back of the jersey looks very clean and I like it. And we got some chain stitching on the shoulder patches with the Blues logo. I don't know if we've seen the Blues logo chain stitched. I'm pretty positive though it's been chain stitched before on a Winter Classic jersey. But you see that nice felt material with the chain stitching on top. Looks very good. And one thing that sticks out to me with the shoulder now is that you don't have the dimples anymore. You just have the same material kind of extending that was on the torso of the jersey going up into the shoulders. And that's an interesting look. I mean, it actually looks a little more vintage now without the dimples. I am a huge fan of the dimples, and I'm sad to see them go. But honestly, with these Winter Classics, I think it actually looks really good. All right, and then we have this twill stitching on the logo, and we have the layering backdrop of the yellow and white behind the letters. I think this jersey could have used more white and less of that vintage cream off-white. I'm going to say that this is about a 4 out of 10 when it comes to Winter Classic jerseys. If you're interested in seeing more of my rankings for Winter Classic jerseys, I did an entire tier list where I ranked like all the Winter Classic jerseys ever made in a long tier list. If that's your type of video, I'll put it right here for you to watch later. But yeah, I'm going to take a lot of points off this jersey because I think it's a little bit lackluster. It's a little bit boring. There's always a lot you can do to pay homage to when you do a throwback Winter Classic jersey. And I feel like the shout outs are lacking on this jersey. There's just nothing really that really has too many vintage nostalgic vibes to it other than just how the overall design is. And I just don't think it's really going to wow anybody. But it looks good and it passed the eye test. So, I mean, I'm not going to say it's absolute trash, but it's not a jersey I would buy. I think it's just going to kind of be forgotten. Nothing anyone would really remember. All right, so now let's move on to this Blackhawks jersey. And the Blackhawks jersey, I think, was leaked, or we knew about what the design was going to be before this reveal. So this isn't too shocking to me. But I will say a Blackhawks jersey always looks good with that cream off-white accent with the red. So we're going to get the striping now on the sleeve of the Blackhawks jersey to be cream. And also this logo is now going to be having a cream backdrop instead of just their typical white. We also get some strings on the collar, which is a staple of the Winter Classic jerseys to have the strings on there. But the most exciting thing about this jersey, in my opinion, is this new tomahawk patch that we've seen used before on Chicago Winter Classic jerseys. This patch is going to be chain stitched, and instead of being on the shoulder pad, it is moved down over the stripes on the arm. And I think that is a genius idea. I think it looks incredible there. The backdrop of the classic Chicago striping pattern also just really, really gives a nostalgic vibe. It's a little bit, it's a cool twist on a vintage look. I also noticed on one of the zoomed in pictures on Instagram that the numbers are going to have this cool vertical stitching that goes through them. I don't know if that's the numbers on the back of the jersey or the numbers somewhere else, but very cool classic vibe to have that stitching there. And I believe it's all going to be made of the same felt material that Blues jersey also included. And then looking at the logo, we have chain stitch stars. We have that classic stitching in the middle of the font there that we got to see on Winter Classic jerseys like the Penguins and the Bruins. The Kraken last year had it. I mean, can you beat that? It's such a vibe. It extends into the arms, and it almost reflects how the Blues jersey has that blue backdrop. So I think both these jerseys combined really make a cool combo. I think that seeing both of these jerseys on the ice together is going to be a really nice look. So I'll have to come back to this when the jerseys hit the ice and give another take on the whole experience as one. And then Chicago font, looks like the captain's patch and assistant's patch are the classic Chicago font there. Nice. I do notice that the gloves, though, are going to be a leathery material, which is really awesome. I love that. So vintage. But yeah, overall, this jersey is sick. And I actually like how the strings on it are that cross string. So it really actually it's kind of similar to how the Tomahawks are on the sleeve. That's really cool. I think this Blackhawks jersey is going to go down as one of the best Winter Classics jerseys they have made. I know people are kind of sick and tired of seeing the Blackhawks in the Winter Classic, but at least this means that we got to see this jersey. I think either Fanatics or whoever designed this really knocked it out of the park. Definitely a jersey I would buy. It's amazing. So I'm going to give this jersey an 8.5 out of 10. Let me know what you think in the comments about both of these jerseys. What would you rank them? Are you thinking of buying them? Are you thinking of buying tickets to the Winter Classic game? And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we have 2 Winter Classic games going on this year. So that is quite a spoil. So we are getting pretty spoiled as hockey jersey collectors this year with what we get to buy. Pretty awesome. So that wraps up our video. This was Strings and Sweaters. Thank you so much for watching till the end. It means a lot to me, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. Peace out, y'all.